Welcome to this week's edition of AI Weekly Breakthroughs, show where we discuss all the key happenings from the AI world to see what really matters, to see what will change the world. Amazon with AWS, their cloud compute business, their goal is to become a one-stop shop for teams looking to build generative AI solutions. So to go towards that goal, they are now introducing a custom model import feature introduced in Bedrock, Bedrock being their generative AI suite of services, which allows teams to import and access their in-house custom generative AI models as fully managed APIs. So this is something similar as Vertex AI from Google and as Azure AI from Microsoft already offers. So with this, they're going directly against those two. Another or second news from Amazon, Titan Image Generator, Titan Text Embeddings V2, updates to their generative AI models. And then last one from Amazon is Andrew Ng, added to their team or added to their board of directors. Andrew Ng, one of the top voices within the AI community, a lot of data scientists, machine learning engineers, really grew up, I can say, with his lectures, with his courses. He's the co-founder of Coursera. He's the founder of Deep Learning AI, one of the top thought leaders. So Amazon adding him is a pretty big addition. He's someone who can help them shape and refine their AI strategy. Continuing with OpenAI and UK's Financial Times, another model creator and content creator deal was struck. So there are two key resources model builders are trying to secure. Number one, computational power, securing a powerful AI infrastructure which will allow them to train bigger, better models. And then the second one is training data. High quality training data for next generation of models. So this is one of those deals that OpenAI has. They've made similar deals in the past weeks, and other model creators are doing the same. So OpenAI can use Financial Times content for training models as well as displaying it within their conversational AI solutions. And then another motivating factor for securing such deals is legal liability around copyright. So this is another issue that model creators faced. xAI, Elon Musk's AI company, they're close to closing a $6 billion funding round at a valuation of $18 billion. Now, main participants, Sequoia Capital and Future Ventures, along with individuals close to Musk Ventures, SpaceX, and Tesla. And what is their goal? Bridging the digital and physical realms by leveraging data from Musk's companies. So already mentioned SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink. I can also mention Platform X. So this funding, Elon Musk's connections, and the AI talent present in those companies and data that they have available, this makes xAI a very important player on the GenAI chessboard. So it will be very interesting to see what they come out in the next weeks and months. Currently, what they already have is Grok, their large language model, which is already available through Platform X, but I'm sure they'll come out with new exciting stuff in the near future. Tiny but mighty, Microsoft's Phi 3. So it's a model, or it's a family of small language models. They released 3 different sizes, one being 3.8 billion parameters, other 7 billion parameters, and the last one 14 billion parameters. Now the small and medium versions are in preview modes. And now what is interesting about these models is their research team, Microsoft's research team, is trying to prove how high quality training data is crucial for training good models, or how by having high quality training data, highly curated training data, can get you high performing models at smaller sizes, at smaller parameter sizes. So this research was really started with the paper textbooks are all you need, which is or meaning high quality data is all you need for high performing models. And now Phi 3 is the third version of those models. Now small models are very exciting. They are cheaper to run, not as computationally demanding, easier to adapt for specific use cases. And what is exciting with Phi models, they're very high performant. So here is a graphic showing those 3 models at different sizes compared to some of the competitors. Mistral, Gemma, Google's Gemma is on there. Llama 3, 8 billion parameters released last week. And as we can see, Phi 3 is doing very, very well on a benchmark here, MMLU, which is a language understanding benchmark. So high performing models at a small size because extra effort has been put in to highly curate training datasets. Snowflake, their AI research team, introduces Snowflake Arctic. So it's a large language model, a fully open enterprise-focused model. Now, what does enterprise-focused mean? It means that it is specially designed to handle enterprise tasks well. Now, what are some of those enterprise tasks? Defined by Snowflake, SQL generation, coding, and instruction following. And then some of the use case using those capabilities are SQL data copilots, code copilots, and retrieval augmented generation chatbots. So this is what this model is specialized to do. And what they are very proud of is that it was very efficient to train. So training compute budget was under 2 million, which is way less, which we will see in the next slide, way less than some of the competitors at a similar size and at similar capabilities. Now they achieved this through a dense mixture of experts architecture with 480 total parameters and then 17 billion active parameters on each request. Here is the promised graphic, Snowflake Arctic compared to let's say Llama 3, already mentioned, Databricks DBRX model. And as we can see that Snowflake Arctic is very good at performing enterprise relevant tasks, but it was much cheaper to train. And here are some of those enterprise tasks, and Snowflake Arctic going up against Llama 3, 8 billion. It is as performant or very close to, let's say, Mistral 8 times 7B and Mistral 8 times 22 billion, which is their latest mixture of experts model. So an exciting release from Snowflake. 5 key takeaways from a survey done by Guidehouse and Chief Data Officer magazine titled The State of GenAI Today, the Early Stages of a Revolution. So what they explored is organizational readiness for generative AI. The survey was done between November and January of this year, and then over 200 senior executives were included. And the main questions: how are leaders bracing for generative AI impacts, including the automation of knowledge work? Are they ready for this transformational technology? And the 5 key takeaways: number 1, large companies, large meaning 1 billion in revenue or more, report that they are extremely likely to invest in generative AI at 2 to 3 times the rate of smaller organizations. And now, the problem that authors of this study see with that is an even investment could result in adoption disparities that give large enterprises additional competitive advantages as the benefits and efficiencies of generative AI compound. Essentially, the more money you have available, the more you can spend, and the more value you can capture, the more productivity gains you can capture from generative AI. Second key takeaway: this is a surprising one. Healthcare and insurance industries lead the way. So those are the 2 industries leading the way in generative AI adoption. So most healthcare, most meaning 89%, and insurance, 88% of respondents say their organization is likely to invest in generative AI in the next 12 months, so in the next year. So the healthcare and insurance industries have emerged as GenAI frontrunners, which could revolutionize patient care and risk assessment. Third key takeaway: generative AI as a competitive force. According to 52% of respondents, generative AI will have a higher or substantial impact on competitiveness. 35% anticipate a moderate impact. And then the main fields or the main impact they see is enhancing productivity, process automation, and labor efficiency. So those are really the top 3 benefits that they seek to gain by implementing some of the generative AI or large language model powered solutions. Fourth key finding: governance and management challenges. Something we are seeing consistently across different surveys. Many respondents, many meaning 72%, say generative AI applications are not incorporated into existing data governance and management structures. And they continue: organizations of all sizes anticipate a struggle to integrate generative AI into existing governance and process management structures. Again, something we see consistently across different surveys. And then the last one also supports this: organizations aren't yet generative AI ready. Despite the potential, 76% of respondents say their organization is not fully equipped to harness generative AI. Obstacles include governance, architecture, training needs, privacy concerns, and lack of skilled personnel. So this survey really supports the trends that we're seeing out there. Companies see the value that generative AI can bring. they are prepared to invest to capture this value. Productivity is the number one benefit they want to capture, but at the same time, they're not really sure how to capture that value, or they're not sure that their current infrastructure, their current architectures, their current data is supporting those use cases. And then data really being that issue to deploying and successfully using some of these use cases, whether it be internal facing or external facing. Enterprise data and high quality of that data is a crucial aspect to being successful with generative AI. The research paper titled LLMs excel at in-context learning. What about long in-context learning? So a trend that we see with models coming out is longer and longer context windows. So we went from 4,000 tokens to 8,000 to 32,000 to 100,000+, now even over 1 million tokens being handled within the context window. But what authors of this paper analyzed is how efficient are models actually at dealing with this information. So can they perform more challenging tasks which require these models to understand the whole context window, so to really understand all the information that is being provided within one prompt. Now, what model creators were reporting, there was a test when this trend started of increasing context windows called needle in the haystack. How efficiently can a model retrieve a piece of information depending on where this information is within the context window. But now authors here extend this. The test is, let's say, a more comprehensive one. The task at hand was extreme label classification, and as mentioned, it required models to really understand all the information provided in the context window. And the key findings they share: LLMs perform well on inputs up to 20,000 tokens, but after 20,000 tokens, accuracy and performance start significantly dropping and decreases all the way down close to zero. And position of key information within the context is still relevant. Now, to illustrate that finding, here are the 4 different tests or evaluations that they performed, ranging from less challenging to more challenging. More challenging meaning the model needs to understand more information at each request. And as we can see with all 5 models that they evaluated, this performance is dropping very fast with an increasing context window size, meaning that large context windows are still hard to handle for these models. And then position of information being relevant within the context window. This is a paper from 2023, which showed that if information is located at the start or at the end of this window, models are better at dealing or using this information for providing answers or fulfilling given tasks. So the overall conclusion of the paper is it's not a solved problem. Context windows are increasing, but how well large language models can handle this information is not yet a solved problem. And this is very relevant, especially for in-context learning scenarios, which is, let's say, retrieval augmented generation. And what teams should consider is still making sure that knowledge, data shared with models is of high quality, is concise, is free of noise, is accurate, and through this we can directly impact the quality of answers provided. And with this, I would like to finish today's show. Thank you, and we'll talk again next week.